Okay, so I tried to exit and that didn't work. I guess if you have the windows open on your phone, it's just the iPhone, but you don't entirely leave, you can see other windows, but you don't entirely leave, it keeps going. I don't know to what extent. Perhaps if you move that window to other windows and you move that window of the video out of frame, maybe it stops as well. Who knows? But as of now, this is a part 2. Okay, so I was on El Criticón, which translates to the critic. And it's spelled critic not as like a person, but like to my understanding is CRITICK, as though like one doing criticizing or one doing critiquing. Critiquing is the right word, not criticizing. Although, is that not the same thing? I don't know. But I wish I could look into my books app. That's where I have a long list of books. But we're just gonna have to proceed as is. I also have Sense and Sensibility. There's one, which is phenomenal as well. The concept is there. 2 sisters and their romantic developments with other persons. One having sense and needing sensibility. The other the inverse, having sensibility and needing sense. Which I think is an interesting concept. Which was useful to me at the time that I began reading it. I found it in the hospital, and Jane Austen. I enjoyed Emma. I never finished it in high school, but I enjoyed it so much. It was one of 2 books that I had to read in high school where I began to write like the author. The other was Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I know I was writing emails to my teachers, writing like Shelley and Austen. Just the way they write with like 17 clauses in one sentence. It's amazing. I told my dad it's to contrast with Hemingway, who is so simple. So there's that. I had picked up Frankenstein because I didn't finish Emma and I didn't finish Frankenstein, but I would have enjoyed finishing Frankenstein and Emma, but I didn't have that kind of time to do it in as much detail as I wanted to fully appreciate it. So no, I didn't finish those books, but I have picked it up again. There's The Idiot by Dostoevsky, which I have enjoyed. Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. I think it's really interesting to be reading her because of her life. She committed suicide, and she also suffered from sexual abuse when she was a kid at the hands of her stepbrothers. So those things make for a very interesting person. You're dealing with, extremes of, high amplitude experiences, traumas, travesties. Ought to make for an interesting person. Am I going to be able to remember all these books? Could that be it? Maybe that's it. Those are the significant ones. That might be it. So I guess just thoughts on the number of books that I'm reading. Honestly, there are many books that I have been looking into. Like my books app is loaded with things. Here's one. La Peste, The Plague, La Peste, by Albert Camus. I read The Stranger by him, and it was really good. First time I ever encountered the concepts that I had encountered in that book. Honestly, that book was insanely liberating for me. I recommend it like 160% to anyone. Like, it's out there in terms of the concepts that you'll encounter. Just read it. It's just look at it. It's good. I had picked up Emma again, just in case. Not sure I know of any other ones. We may have to leave it at that. But anyway, that's a lot of books. Honestly, I've said this before to my family. The books that I've read in the time that I've been out of school and going through this mental health crisis have all been very dark books. Very dark. Insanely dark. And it just goes to show that the matter of what I was dealing with my mental health, it was dark, it was dark. It was me colonizing the dark in me, as everyone does. You have to know you're dark. So I read The Stranger. That's about a guy who kills someone. I read Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. That's about a guy who kills someone, told from his perspective. Gets into the very feverish nature preceding the act. So it is the psychology. I read The Inferno of the Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri, which was good too. And then I read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So Inferno obviously is just obvious. You're encountering the very worst of man in the Inferno, in hell. To the point where at the end you meet Brutus and Judas and Cassius, was it? And then the last one was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the last book that I read, which is exactly that. The guy who transforms into a dark version of himself. So interestingly, what they say about Dostoevsky is that when he wrote Crime and Punishment, he followed that up with The Idiot. So if the Crime and Punishment dealt with the very worst of man, The Idiot deals with the very best of man. And the best of man deals with a person who is an idiot, which is what is necessary for someone to be good. Because you have to be oblivious. You have to be ignorant to be good. You have to be oblivious to all the bad. So you have to be dumb, in a sense. And that kind of coincided with what I was going through. Determining that I am a good person and just how that is so. How is it so? Because I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I don't know any better to be bad, even. Honestly, Dostoevsky is a boss. Is that it? Is that it? Liebe Leute, dear people in German. I don't know. I don't think I wanted to discuss only the books that I had read, but at this point I've lost my train of thought. I don't know what else it was that I had wanted to talk about. You sort of just do it and follow the course. over such a long course, 10-minute videos each, you forget what else it was. I don't have any notes. I didn't prepare or anything. I just like to talk. Free association. There can be nothing more authentic. Nothing closer to the unfettered nature of the mind. Not, shaped by rules and trying to keep appearances. Not that sort of thing. This is me just talking, and I enjoy it. Even though, I don't know. I suppose we'll leave it at that, because I don't know what else it could be. Okay, I won't bore you. I'll end it here.